Welcome to Insightful Therapist, where we explore the world of mental health, personal growth, and self-awareness. I'm Aaliyah Adlaka, licensed psychotherapist, and I am so excited to share with you today Insight Therapy's newest team member, Viktoria Hovhannisyan. Victoria, it's so nice to have you.
Hi, Aaliyah. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you. And one of the things I really wanted to share was when the first couple times we met, we were both sort of exploring if you'd be a good fit for the Insight team. And I got the privilege to hear a little bit into your story and part of what made you decide that you were drawn to mental health and wanted to pursue a career as now an associate marriage family therapist. And so I was wondering, how would you feel about sharing a little bit about that?
Yeah, I would love to share that story. So what got me into it is the short answer is my own experience, but to broaden it up a little bit, I would say it started when I moved here. So I grew up in a different country. I grew up in Armenia, and my experience living there was completely different. It was a completely different culture and completely different norms, and mental health services were not like readily available for us, and actually mental health overall was just highly stigmatized and no one was really talking about it. People were kind of struggling behind the closed doors, and I kind of got to witness that and how it affects people. And when I moved here, I moved here when I graduated high school, and I moved here and continued getting my higher education at UCLA. I was just privileged enough to be a student who had access to mental health resources, privileged enough to be part of a society that openly shares and talks about their stories and shares their vulnerabilities. And it really affected me, and it really changed my life. And that's what kind of got me interested in the field.
I bet. I can only imagine. I mean, growing up in Armenia all the way through high school, and then there you are, at UCLA in the heart of Los Angeles, and you're probably looking around, and there must be ways that there was some real culture shock. Was there anything in particular, like any stereotypes or like that kind of
Oh
stood out
yeah.
to you?
I was just so shocked to see people drink their coffees with oat milk. Like I just could not wrap my head around it. Like what, oat milk? How do you make milk from oats? I don't know. It was shocking to me. But now I drink. I love my oat milk lattes.
So you drank the Kool-Aid, so to say. Oh, wow. So you were at UCLA and then you continued your education to become a associate marriage family therapist at Pepperdine, right?
Yes, yes. I just at UCLA I studied psychology as well as linguistics, and I just decided I think it was my senior year where it was just very clear to me that the only place I'm gonna go and the only place the only career that I'm gonna get is in the mental health field, and I'm gonna become a therapist. It was very clear. I just felt like this strong calling almost to do it. To
Yeah.
pursue.
It really is a calling, isn't it? To feel drawn into this type of work and really sitting with people, both in some of life's most beautiful moments and victories, and also in some of the challenges.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you at your time at Pepperdine, one of the things you shared was you took up surfing, but also, yeah, you started working in the Los Angeles community with adolescents, right?
Yes. I started working with adolescents at school-based environment as well as outpatient, and got to kind of help them with various types of issues that they were having. And I just found it so rewarding, just witnessing clients' growth.
Mhm. Absolutely. And so tell me a little bit, like, who's your dream client? Like what types of people are you wanting to work with in your practice?
Oh, that's a good question. My dream client. Um, I would say someone who's someone who's brave. I feel like, I mean, going to therapy is so intimidating and it's so scary, and like seeking that help is so scary. I know that from my own experience. So my ideal client is someone who's willing to explore parts of themselves, someone who's willing to who's someone who's open to new perspectives, someone who wants to grow, wants to have a different type of relationships, maybe a different type of life, someone who wants to improve themselves and their quality of life. Yeah.
If you're brave and ready to be courageous, it sounds like, whether you're an adolescent or, a family or an adult in any kind of life transition therapy, with Victoria might be the place to go, huh? Uh, So, and you're working both remote through telehealth and in the Santa Barbara office location.
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah. Well, we are just so lucky to have you. And one last very brief thing I'll share about why I'm excited to have Victoria on the team was her story and, speaking into what it means to be brave with your vulnerabilities and, come from this sensitivity of a multicultural experience personally is dear to my heart. My grandmother was Armenian, and my dad decided he wanted to be a psychotherapist and clinical psychologist at UCLA as well. And
Wow.
so, those were some of the bigger mentors or biggest mentors, in addition to my mom, that got me into mental health. And so when you first were sharing this story about your calling into the work and your story, even, with immigrating from Armenia and finding yourself in the Central Valley, it just really rung true and hit my heartstrings. And I can't wait to see the work that you're going to do and how many people's lives you're going to touch.
Oh, thank you so much, Julia. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, and so in the spirit of gratitude and Thanksgiving and being grateful, thank you for being a part of the Insight team. And if you're interested, if anyone's watching this and interested, our website is www.insighttherapy.center, and there you can find all of Victoria's information. And we hope to see more of you. Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you. Thank you, Julia.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.